People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, tomorrow is Arsenal versus Liverpool. Liverpool v Arsenal. The reigning champions versus, joint 10th or wherever you are at this moment in time. And on one thing, there's nothing for Arsenal to play for domestically. There isn't too much for Liverpool to play for, apart from chasing in what is a memorable season. It's their first Premier League title, their first in however many years, in 30 years or so. It's the chance to see how many points they can get, and at the end of the day, 30 years, 100 years from now, what do they want the points tally to say? It's their choice. They've already created history, but it's Liverpool wanting to create more history. There's not much going for this game beyond pride. Like, God knows the amount of goals we've conceded in the last 4, 5, 6 games against them. We're probably touching maybe 30 goals or even more cricket scores. We know at this moment in time what it is against Liverpool. We know, we've been knowing what Mo Salah and Mane and these guys do to us. They've been smacking us up. The only hope I've got is that, when we beat them 1-1, when Lacazette scored, and I think, was it Laka or Ozil scored? There was definitely a good 3-3, and there was definitely a good 1-1 draw, I believe, when Lacazette scored. But beyond that, not too many happy moments playing against Liverpool, and you're just hoping they play their under-15s or something. Even then, they'll probably give us a game the way they're moving and the way we're moving. Obviously, Liverpool have had a bit of a hangover in the post-restart. They've demolished Palace and they've won games, but you look at games against, even games they've won, they've made it harder. Like, was it Brighton a couple of weeks ago? I could be wrong. Definitely Burnley, they didn't take their chances and they dropped 2 points, which doesn't matter on the grand scheme of things, but matters. They obviously got beat 4-0 against City, which were not City. For us, we're coming off the back of a North London derby where we've spoken about it's been and gone, the same themes: conceding late goals, dropping points from winning positions, ultimately game management and defending properly, retreating to cheap habits. These are things that cost us in that game. If you can't defend or play well against Spurs or pattern up against Spurs, what are you going to do against Liverpool? So, I'm sure most Arsenal fans are not happy. And for me, like I said, I want to see every game treated like a cup final in this last run. And we ain't got much to play for, but it's pride. Momentum's a big thing. If you win the North London derby, you've got momentum. Again, momentum and complacency and arrogance all sit in the same house. I'm saying just momentum to put in a decent game against Liverpool, in which we probably lose. But if you lose a 1-0 or 2-1 on top of beating Spurs or a convincing performance, you're going to think, we can do a thing against City. We've obviously got City this week. It's a big week for us. We're playing 2 games where pride's on the line, essentially. We've obviously got the FA Cup to come. We've obviously got City. I don't know if he's going to make rotations, considering we played on Sunday. And to be fair, the players need to come out of the team in terms of form. But what more can we do too much this season? And yeah, man, it's just pray for hope for the best, expect the worst sort of thing, man. There isn't much to say against Liverpool. It's you lot know what it is, people. If we just look at the league table briefly and really quickly, which I really should have done already. I believe we're 2 points behind Spurs. We shot ourselves in the foot, obviously losing to them. Conceding 3, and that's another thing. Like, if you do go ahead against Liverpool, make sure you see out the lead. Don't concede 3 minutes after taking the equaliser, or concede 9 minutes from time, because these lot don't get. Look, they're chasing 93 points, people. They've got 3 games left or something like that. Yeah, they're on 93 points. They win their 3 games, they're on 100 points, and I'm sure Liverpool want to do that. It will cap off a great season, So they're gonna want every reason. For us, things can get gazy for us. Burnley can move ahead of us, people. We're 9th, they're 10th, obviously goal difference. Spurs are 2 points ahead of us, people, and they've got Newcastle. Sheffield are 7th, so we're not playing for nothing this season, but pride. So hopefully we can do something against Liverpool. But to be honest, it is what it is, people. It really is what it is. I mean, we're trying to fight to get into the Europa League now. Again, from a sporting perspective, I'm sure many people don't want to be in the Europa League. It is an inconvenience, especially when you're working a 9 to 5. I do see the logic, and I do agree somewhat with, we're at the point where we need to just focus on one competition, playing once a week. But at the same time, economically, the pennies that Europa League bring us, we got as much for reaching the final as Inter Milan did going out of the group stages in the Champs versus the final of the Europa League. So there obviously is finances about and things like that. And reality is, I want us to get top 4 via the 38-game Premier League season next season. You have to show that consistency. But the Europa League presents you a second chance. Now, you could say on our day, they rarely come, but on our day we can beat teams, which is why cups favour us. I also say we have more shots over a 38-game period, because when we haven't You know, we are not patterned as a team in all components we want. So are we really cerebral enough to say, you know, we're going to go past this round, that round? And the thing is, Europa League isn't that deep as well, because 9 times out of 10 you're playing your B, C, D sides in the group stages, and then getting serious beyond that. So beyond, there's not too many reasons. Like financially, we need to get Europa League, or we're gonna, you know, we're gonna be even more crippled than we are so already. So 3 points will do us well. Do I expect it? No. Again, I'm not saying I'm looking past this game, but my focus is purely on Saturday because I expect to lose. I want to be wrong. It pains me as a fan to say this, but how can I have hope beyond blind hope when we're playing the way we're playing and making the individual mistakes we're making, people? In relation to the lineup, we've just got to persist with the 4-3-3, people, really, with the 3-4-3. So I'm going to go with Martinez. I'll go what? Martinez, back 3, David Luiz, Mustafi. For me, I'll go with Holding. Luiz will never lose his place, but I think even Socrates isn't that great, but maybe Socrates deserves a run-in. But, you know, I'm not too sure Liverpool's the game for him, so... You know, it's a calamity, but David Luiz, Mustafi, you know, Holding hasn't looked the same as he's looked since his injury, but I think Collagen actually has come out the side for Holding. Tierney stays at left back, right back, you know, Bellerin was okay, but personally I'm going to go Cedric Suarez. You know, or Maitland-Niles, I'll go Cedric Suarez. Midfield, Xhaka and Ceballos, they played alright against Spurs, so they can retain that. So that's the midfield 4, including the fullbacks. Up front, you know, it's for me, it's a tough one, man. Probably going Aubameyang, Lacazette. Aubameyang on the left, Lacazette through the middle. And I'd personally start Pepe again. I don't think he was poor against Spurs. But, you know, there's probably a case for Bukayo Saka. There's also a case to obviously change up the formation and play Bukayo Saka as a central midfielder. But Pepe probably misses out. And I think Pepe, at least he'll give Robertson something to think about. So will Saka. But Robertson, he might not pour forward. Because when you think of Liverpool, you obviously think of their fullbacks. And obviously they've got quality. Listen, I've purposely not spoken of Mane, Firmino and Salah. 3 serious offenders when it comes to scoring against Arsenal. We know the playbook that is Liverpool versus Arsenal. Like I said, Liverpool are chasing 100 points. They firmly got something to play for. And Klopp, I'm guaranteed Klopp's probably tearing into these players. Because as a manager, you don't want complacency setting in. You don't want to know your team setting the foot off the gas. Because they have to focus on next season. The hardest task is retaining the Premier League. And, you know, you start as you mean to go on. So we know what to expect. On their day, you know, it's fast flowing football. You know, they put together some good moves. They're very direct. They're very, very good combinations. We know what their front 3 are on. Liverpool don't need no scouting or no tactical video, because you know what it is, people. It comes down to pride, comes down to work ethic. It comes down for Arsenal to learning from old mistakes. Can't expect too much differently. You know, Ozil and Guendouzi probably won't be involved. We know Eddie is going to play no part. So yeah, man, we'll have to see what the game is going to throw at us. But in relation to this, that's my preview done, man. People, Deluded, I'm out, man. I'll see you when it comes to reviewing the game. Hopefully it's positive news. Die for a draw. Obviously love to win. Accepted defeat, in my opinion, people. But hopefully I'm wrong. Yeah, like I said, man, please comment, subscribe and do the rest, man. DG.